assistance they need, they tend to get. What if they started thinking they were dreaming you up? Well, that actually could be a very dangerous thought process. That could be the beginnings of cancer. No cell in your body is dreaming you up. The reason things would happen around it and coordinate around it and sustain it is because you sustain your body, which means you will sustain every cell in your body, correct? So we're laughing about that. And I gave her a little scenario to make the scalar reality functional, rather than just theory or philosophy that we're all part of the scalar reality. You know, I said, imagine I'm sitting out in front of a gas station, talking to some guy, right? And he's, a human resources manager at some company. And he's telling me about how 2 employees are in a fight right now, and it's disrupting the work environment, and he has to counsel each one of them to try to solve their problem. And I'm listening to him. I say back, interesting, how did you get into human resources? What drew you to that position? And then his response to me is, oh, well, I'm pretty good at solving problems with people and good at counseling and working things out, and I like to help people. Interesting thing is that at the same time in his life, he happens to be fighting with his wife, for example. And he's been sleeping on the couch for a whole week, they're in this huge fight. Now, he's not telling me that, but he's going through that in his life. When I asked him why he went into human resources, and his answer was because he's good at working with people and solving problems and resolving issues that are problematic between people, it was kind of ironic for him, which triggered a little thought bubble to come up in his head, saying I'm good at solving problems, but here I am sleeping on the couch at home because I'm in a fight with my wife. And he doesn't say that to me. You often are in conversations consciously and you have thoughts that come up, but you don't say all of your thoughts. To him, that would be private for him. But that thought bubble comes up in his head, right? As soon as that thought bubble comes up, I get a tickle in my throat, and I have to clear it, like that. However, it was simultaneous with that thought bubble that came up about him sleeping on the couch and having a fight with his wife, right? The clearing of my throat was coordinated by this larger mind. And that was an auditory event that came into his brain through his ears that tied in and kind of met it like somebody throwing a football to a receiver, and then boom, they intersect and he catches the ball. Same type of thing. Like that. Right when he had the thought about the irony that he's a good problem solver, but he's fighting with his wife, right? So when I clear my throat, the energy involved with that and the timing involved with that set his thought into motion. Now, it meant nothing to his conscious mind. To his conscious mind, I was just clearing my throat. But to his subconscious mind, that would be an anchor, a natural anchor to set that thought in motion. So now he's thinking about it, right? Maybe some girl is walking past on her cell phone and she's about to hang up, and he's thinking how weird it is that he's fighting with his wife. And then she hangs up, and before she hangs up on the phone, she says, "Okay, I love you," and hangs up. To his conscious mind, that's just some girl talking on the phone, but to his subconscious mind, that "I love you" tied into his thinking about the problem with his wife. Now he's thinking consciously, because of that direction subconsciously. She's unaware of it. To her, she was having a conscious conversation with whoever she was talking to, right? Remember, we're all components of something larger. So subconsciously, "I love you" anchored his conscious thought about his wife, and now he's thinking, "I love my wife. I shouldn't be fighting with her. I should really make up with her." And right when he thinks that, maybe 2 other women are walking by in a conversation. One woman says something, and right when they walk past, the other woman responds, "Yeah," like that. In the way she says it, the way her conscious mind says that, "yeah," and the timing in which she says, "yeah," anchored his conclusion. Subconsciously, his conscious mind wouldn't think that she would have anything to do with his thoughts, right? Nor would her conscious mind think that. However, the "yeah" anchored his conclusion subconsciously to direct his conscious mind to want to solve the problem with his wife. And then he thinks to himself, I'm going to solve the problem with her. I'm going to talk to her tonight. And maybe while that was happening, some other guy I know comes out of the gas station. He's got this big piece of pizza or something. And I look at him and go, oh, there you go. Like that. Now, in my conscious mind, that's what I chose to say. I could say a lot of things. Oh, you hungry? Ooh, that looks good. Whatever. But I said, oh, there you go. I thought I wanted to say, there you go. And consciously, I felt I was saying it to the guy because of his huge piece of pizza. He laughs and goes, yeah, yeah. But right when I said, there you go, it anchored subconsciously his conclusion to solve the problem with his wife and talk to her that night. And then maybe he has another thought. It's still going, yep, repair this. I'm going to talk to her. And then he thinks about that again. Perhaps somebody's driving on the street and they feel a need to honk their horn at a car or something right in that moment. Honk! Right when he says, yeah, I'm going to fix the problem with my wife. And then he thinks maybe of a memory of when they were in love. Pops up in his mind. And right when that pops up, maybe a bird flies by and goes, caw! Like that. And I'm giving her this example, which is much more effective in person because she can look into my eyes, and by this time she was starting to get my energy. What was happening now is the Spirit was speaking through me and knew exactly how to say it to her. And so she was starting to light up. What was happening is it was raising her spirit a little bit. And I looked at her and she understood all of this. It made sense to her in the way that I said it in that moment. I said, you sustain your whole body, right? She said, yeah. I said, so you will sustain individual cells, right? She said, yeah. So by sustaining individual cells, you sustain yourself, right? She said, yeah. I said, well, what would happen if one of your cells in your body started stealing from other cells or arguing with other cells or fighting with them, killing them, hurting them, coveting them, lusting after them? That's cancer, right? She said, yeah. I said, remember, time is not linear to the larger scalar mind. The truth is, your subconscious mind is the link to the larger mind, utilizing you and myself and everything else you see to see itself as I. And she got it. In the parking lot of Walmart, she got it. I said, so you can see then. Why am I talking to you now? Because if you're fighting with your husband, and you and your husband are both components to something larger, and this Spirit is animating all of that, your tension, your upset feelings towards each other, the negative vibrations, has a scalar effect on the whole. It's going to sustain itself. So the truth is, the reason that I'm talking to you right now, and I gave her that analogy of a receiver going out in football, and the football is thrown, and they intersect. And I made a gesture, and then pointed at both of us. And she smiled. She got it. I said to her, so now you understand. You need to get over your fight with your husband. And she looked at me, and I said, yep. I'm another part of you, and I made her understand that. I said, because of certain belief systems you have, conditioning in your life, the truth is you have the Spirit inside of you, but you form like calluses in your mind, belief systems, blockages, so that you're not able to get the input from your own flow of spiritual energy inside of you. Therefore, the larger scalar reality that we are parts of will circumvent that. And it will get the information to you in a different way. And here I am. Stop fighting with your husband. Don't get drunk tonight. And don't let the people in your workplace give you